Welcome back to MBKB Talks. As you can probably tell, it's just the two of us today. We thought we'd change it up a little bit and take a moment to reflect. And now that we're a few episodes into the podcast, we wanted to give you a little chance to get to know us even better. Beyond the guests and the amazing conversations that we've had so far.
Indeed. So today's episode is called Lessons We Wish We'd Knew, and it's all about reflecting on our own growth and some of the failures we've faced throughout our careers, and also the wisdom we've picked up along the way, really. Now, we'll be talking about work lessons, personal lessons, and then also, of course, it wouldn't be an episode of MBKB Talks if we didn't do the Empower Hour segment as well.
Before we get into the episode, I just wanted to check. Have you been watching the Women's Euros?
Do you know what? I'm not going to lie, I haven't. But if you could fill me in now, that would be amazing.
Well, obviously, as you know, the Lionesses won in 2022.
Yeah.
And I was there for the
Wow.
final.
What was that like?
That was amazing.
Was it?
Yeah. It's like, I've never been to Wembley before, and obviously when the year before, and I was like, I'm signing up. I was like, I'm going to get a ticket to the final, and I got a ticket to the first group game.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm going to go to Wembley and just do it. And I was like, and if we go, and if we're there, like, that'd be amazing. But if not, maybe I'll still go anyway. And obviously, like, as the weeks went on and we were like, we kept winning.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we're actually at a final. So yeah, no, it was amazing. Like, yeah, best experience ever.
Great, yeah. So what's the plan at the moment then? Where are they at currently?
So currently it's still a little bit up in the air, but it's in our hands. Obviously we lost the first group game against France, which was not ideal. But yeah, if you obviously you didn't watch last night, but we smashed the Netherlands. We beat them 4-0.
Wow, cool.
So
nice,
yeah,
that's
really good with some absolutely wicked goals as well. Like
Yeah.
I'd definitely check it out if I was you.
I will,
The highlights. And then we've got Wales on Sunday. So hopefully, we'll get a win there and then go through. But with like goal difference and stuff, it's like in our hands. And Netherlands have got to beat France by a lot of goals. So yeah.
Interesting. Well, we'll see how they get on. Fingers crossed it's coming home, hopefully,
Again,
as we always say. But a little bit off topic, but the Lions are also playing. So we've got the Lionesses on at the minute. We've also got the Lions, the 12 Nations, which is currently taking place down under, which I will actually be going to within the next couple of days, which is very exciting. So yeah, I mean, the England are just really, it's all going down at the minute, I think, in the world of sport. So fingers crossed for England. Let's bring it home. Now, so let's kick things off. What's one work mistake then, Lauren, that you've made looking back and really turned out to be a massive learning opportunity, really?
I think like when I first started creating images for like our social media and stuff, I sort of just went, yeah, I'll do that, and just sort of winged it, and perhaps like just went straight in on Photoshop and used a nice picture, I'd say, and then added text to it. And I don't think that was the best, you know what I mean, the best start, because sometimes they weren't very good. And I also learned that Photoshop doesn't automatically spell check.
Yeah.
You have to employ it, which I learned the hard way. But we move on. I didn't have a clear plan. I just sort of went for it.
Yeah.
So then, like, if you look back at the images I've created before, which please don't, they weren't very good.
I'm sure they were fine.
But yeah, so yeah. What about you? What would you say?
Oh, I think probably a lesson I've learned, especially within my role as a business development executive. When I first started, I might have been a bit too pushy, maybe, and salesy, and I thought, at the end of the day, if it's not going to work for somebody, it's not going to work. It's just about being transparent with them, and then also just informing them, really, and just sort of helping them and guiding them through questions that they've got, and just being the sort of supportive, really. I mean, being in the role as a BDE, especially for MBKB, it's more, I'd say it's less sales. It's obviously it's got that element to it, but it's more just helping and supporting people getting onto their learning journeys, really. And it was a bit of, that's where I really had to adapt. But now I've been in the role for around about 18 months. I've really now sort of found the way to deal with situations like that and just calls and stuff like that. And yeah, it's you all learn, don't you, I suppose, from your mistakes and stuff like that. And it's just all about getting better.
You've like learned that obviously, like, the sales is obviously the aspect of it, but also you're there to offer support and
100%.
information and stuff.
Definitely, really good, definitely. But yeah, now looking back on all of sort of your previous jobs, Lauren, What would you say was your most memorable job? And also, what do you think it taught you as well?
My most memorable job. I could say there's two. So I was a camp counselor at a camp in America called
Okay.
YMCA Camp Jones College. Taught me patience, so like dealing with the kids and stuff. And I also learned to be a lifeguard, which is pretty cool. And also on top of that, I had a bit of freedom and like, 'cause obviously I flew over to America on my own, like
Yeah.
literally UK to San Fran, and that's a long flight. And
Yeah.
then just like didn't know anybody there, just went for it. And yes, I think it taught me a lot about myself as well that I didn't necessarily know before, and that you can just go and do these things, and like it's okay to do things on your own as well.
Yeah.
And then another memorable job, which is one that came up, is I was an elf
Okay,
at
interesting.
sure at Mary Hill.
Oh, was ya?
Yeah, a few years ago, I was a Christmas elf.
Cool. No,
I had like a little
that's a
hat
cool
and
job.
everything.
How did you get that?
I don't think I saw it on Facebook, and I was like, yeah, I'll apply. I just went for it. I was like, I love Christmas. This would be great. I mean, it was mad as well, as you can imagine. A lot of excitable little kids meeting Santa.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
we're like, but yeah, no, really good. What about you? What would you say is your most memorable job?
I've had a lot of memorable sort of jobs, I suppose. Probably not memorable in a good way most of the time, but I must say one memorable job. I used to work for a company that built sort of gas tankers within in sort of the West Midlands. I just remember the days where, because I used to be in engineering, it'd be snowing outside, you'd be lying under the sort of trucks in the cold, in the rain, lying in the mud, and that really taught me persistence and to sort of just get on with it really. I think when you do something like that, working in the snow and the cold and just getting wet, it really teaches you to just keep on going and keep what's the saying now, keep calm and carry on, is that
Yeah.
the that really does hit home. I'd say that was probably one of the most memorable
Mm.
jobs. Probably not in the best way, but yeah, it was memorable for sure.
It's like working under pressure, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm. And also, what's it like? Getting a job done quick, I guess, because you were like freezing cold. You're like, I need to get this done as soon as possible.
Yeah, exactly. But the
Mm.
thing is with that, you couldn't just rush it, because
Yeah.
if you rushed it and you messed up, then you'd know about it because it was a gas tanker. And if it went wrong, not really the best thing to be rushing, I must say. But yeah, it definitely taught me some life lessons.
Talk about a high pressure job.
Oh, yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Uh, but yeah, it was a life experience, and I must say I did enjoy it. There was some great lads there. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah.
What would you say is something that you've learned about yourself in the last few years that's really changed how you approach things, whether work or in life?
Probably the opportunities come up all the time. Life really throws some curveballs at you sometimes, and your future, you can't always have it planned out. Sometimes you've just got to let life take its own course. At the same time, though, that doesn't mean that things are going to get thrown. You haven't got to work hard. You have got to work hard, but you haven't always got to have your life planned out. As long as you're working hard, you're trying to push towards goals you have, then life will just figure itself out. Just not putting too much pressure on yourself, really, to sort of achieve in life. You will naturally achieve if you're working hard, doing all the right things. Then good things will come.
Oh, I love that. It's like that quote, isn't it? Where it's if it's meant for you, it'll happen,
Hundred
and if
percent.
it's
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
then it won't.
exactly. 100%.
Mm.
What about you?
I think I've come to realize, and it's probably more recent, really, but I sort of want to fix things a lot, whether that's in work or like personal life. I'm like, oh, that's not working. I can fix this, and I think it's nice. But also on top of that, to realize that I can't fix everything, and I can't make everything better, and I can't make everything perfect. And I think I'm really like solution focused, and I'm like, I can help, I can try and fix it, but I also need to like take a step back, that it's okay to try, and if it doesn't work, then yeah, I think that's
No, sure. That's a good little. Yeah, that's good. That is. If you had to sum it up, what's your golden rule for sort of work or life, and something that you always brings you back to when things get a little hectic?
I guess it's probably a mixture of a few things. As I said, like I like to fix things and make them better, whatever it is, whether that's in work and in life. And also I'm a bit of a perfectionist, which is definitely a blessing and a curse, because I'm like I need this to be perfect. And like, like making the images and stuff. And even those early days where I'd like done spelling mistakes, I was like, no, like I was gutted about it. And as I've got a bit older and more into the role, I've realised that I need to ease up a little bit. Nothing is ever truly perfect, is it? And
No.
what is the definition of perfect? I guess my golden rule is to just do your best, but without burning yourself out trying to make everything perfect. And I've got better at stepping back and going, this is good enough, and that's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Just accepting what you would sort of produce, really, as
Mm.
that is good. Like, not just over sort of pressuring yourself to do like too much, really. I suppose,
Yeah.
isn't it? But yeah, I like that's good. That one is.
What would you say yours golden rule is?
I would say just persistent. Don't give up. So, like for example, if you're trying something, don't just because it's not working right away, meaning that you should stop it. Just keep trying different things, and keep at it really, and just keep going and digging at it and digging at it because it does pay off. I mean, there's a lot of instances where I've tried stuff within in sort of my role as a business development executive, that I've you have to just keep at it, keep at it, and eventually you start to see the rewards from it, and it starts to work, and you're like, okay, that's great, that's starting to work now, and but it's just all about being persistent with it and just keep trying it, whatever that may be, whichever job it is, just keep at it really, and just keep knowing that just keep doing your thing really.
Yeah, I think that's really good. It's kind of like practice makes perfect, isn't it? You just
Yeah.
keep going, and then once you've repeated something so many times, you kind of smash it by the end. I would have thought.
100%, yeah, definitely,
Mm,
definitely.
really good. All right, Jacob. What would you say is something that you used to believe about success, or perhaps getting ahead at work that you see totally different now?
So I must say that is a bit of a tricky one, but off the top of my head, I think success isn't always defined by what your actual job is. If you're helping in other areas, and you can contribute to the business in different ways, which might not be expected you as your job, I think that is greatly appreciated within the company, as well as obviously doing your role. I think that's something that I found is quite important to give, just not just doing your job, but just really going out there, out your way to sort of give something to the company what you might not be expected to give, for
Mm.
example. And yeah, just trying to just finding what you're good at and then applying it to sort of finding what you enjoy and sort of trying to apply it within your role as whatever you're doing is something that I've always sort of tried to do within all my roles really within business. And yeah, I think success isn't just defined by what your targets are. There's various factors to success, I think.
I think like for you it's like applying your strengths and knowing what you're good at and then applying that throughout the business. I
Definitely,
think
yeah.
that's really cool.
100%, yeah.
So that is success for sure, yeah.
Yeah. What about yourself?
I think for me, it's like looking at it as like celebrating those little wins
Okay.
instead of like that success is that post did well or like that. Do you know what I mean? That image looks really good, and like
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I smashed that. I like that image. And do you know what I mean? Like even if say we don't get so many comments on it or something, I'm still happy with that little success that I've had. So I think for me, it's celebrating the little wins in
Yeah,
terms of like
definitely.
rather than a whole do you know what I mean? Like if we've had a really good campaign or something and being like, that was successful as well. But yeah, going back to the little ones.
It's good to do that as well because it's
Mm.
good for yourself, your personal mental well-being. You need
Yeah.
to like tell yourself, look, that's great. I did that.
Mm.
And sometimes you don't do that enough, do you? So it's always good to do that.
No, I think like with me, obviously, like being a bit of a perfectionist and I get an idea of an image in my head, and if I can't get the image out onto, do you know what I mean, like on my laptop when I'm like creating it, and then when I can, I'm like, oh yeah, that is success. I smashed this.
Yeah, that's very true.
Mm.
So, do you know what time it is?
Mm.
It is, in fact, time for the Empower Hour, our favourite way to close each episode, of course.
Mm.
Now, Lauren, is there a moment, a quote, a person that's made you feel truly sort of empowered recently?
I'm not sure who said it, but I think the quote is, and if I get this wrong, you'll have to let me know. But I think it's believe you can and you're halfway there. And I think like that's really important because obviously like it's it talks to your mindset of if you believe you can do it, then you're already there, like halfway there because you haven't done it yet. But do you know what I mean? You've completely taken out the negative thoughts and the feedback where you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do that, and you're like the self doubt, and then yeah, so believe you can and you're halfway there.
I like that one. Yeah, it's a very true quote. At the end of the day,
Mm.
it's all about believing in yourself, and as soon
Yeah.
as you can do that, then like you say, you're halfway there. So
Yeah.
I think mine is I was watching a podcast recently, and it's a very everybody knows this quote, but it's the show must go on. So whatever happens, whatever scenarios you face, just to keep going on. Really, don't let it stop you. At the end of the day, the show must go on, so you have to keep going and just keep at it. Really, no matter what scenario you face.
No, I agree with that. That's a good quote.
Definitely.
For sure. And you're right, like, the show does go. Yeah,
Exactly.
so you have to keep going.
Exactly. So that's our episode and the lessons we wish we'd known, and also just a little look into what shaped us, really. Now, we hope you enjoyed it, and I know it was a bit of a shorter one, but we really appreciate you joining us for another episode of MBKB Talks.
Yep. And thank you to our listeners, as always, for tuning in. We'd love to hear your biggest lessons. So if you want to drop them in the comments and let us know. Be sure to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of the socials to stay up to date with new episodes and podcast clips.
Nice one. And yeah, keep your eyes peeled because we will be announcing the next guest very shortly. If you've got any ideas of who you think it might be, drop it down in the comments below. We always like to engage with our comments. And yeah.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of the things. And yeah, let us know who or what you might want to hear next.
Definitely. And see you next time on MBKB Talks.
Bye.